So when you come down to Earth, one of the problems we have is when you go to stand up, if you don't have enough blood volume, as I talked about before, you will faint. And so we had a few astronauts in the early program that when they stood up, immediately fainted. And basically,
So when you go into space, you lose that weight and then it don't come back, it's just gone?
it does come back, but not immediately. What I was talking about, so when we come down, we have to be very careful about how we stand up. We actually wear a G suit. You know what a G suit is? That's what fighter pilots wear. It's like the inflatable pants that we put underneath our suit, and that squeezes our lower body to keep the blood from going down in our legs. You know, you probably had the experience when, you know, your mom or dad wake you up early in the morning till you get out of bed and you jump up and you get a little dizzy.
Yes.
Well, our dizziness doesn't go away. So we use that G suit to keep the blood up here. Because when you jump up from the bed in the morning, what happens is the blood goes down through your legs because gravity is pulling it down. And so we wear the G suit, and then we also drink about 1 liter of salt water. So think about that. What is how much is in here? 50 mils. So we will do you know, like 4 of those. Hey guys.
But
Just asking a question.
I see a question also, it's if you lose, if you can explain to them how body always comes back. It's
Yep.
already built to cover fully and even better. Because that's part of our understanding of biology.
Yeah. So the human body is really smart, right? It adapts to whatever environment you're in. So we've grown up in a 1 gravity environment, meaning that our bones, the density of our bones, how strong they are, the size of our muscles, how big they are, is depending on how large we are and how much work we do. You ever seen a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger? Everybody knows Arnold, right? He's a huge guy. When he was 13 years old, he was probably about your size. And now he is this huge guy. And in part because he lifted weights. And of course he grew. But as he grew, he lifted more weights and he got bulkier and bulkier. When we go into space, because we don't have to carry our weight, we don't have to lift anything, nothing weighs anything, then we're able to, the body is able to adapt to that environment. So it gets rid of the fluid, it reduces your density of your bones and also of your muscles. And so you get weaker while you're up there, which is okay as long as you stay in space. So when you come home though, and you try to stand up, then you get a little dizzy and you're very weak. And to the professor's point, as the longer you stay on Earth, then you get stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'll give you an example. My first mission was 2 weeks long, and it took me about 2 months to get back to normal, to where I could actually go through a normal day, you know, where I could stay up most of the day. And that was just from exposure to zero gravity for 2 weeks. Pretty amazing. So the body's adaptable, but we do recover.
How does science help you fly the rocket?
Well, science helps us fly the rocket because it really is based on technology. It's based on science. It's all about science and physics, and biology part is about the humans and the plants and things that humans and animals that we take into space. But we have engineers that calculate where we need to be, you know, in space and how we're going to get there. So they've designed the engines, they've designed the chemicals that go in the engines that produce the thrust to get us in space. So science is involved in every facet of what I do. Now you guys know I'm a medical doctor? So I'm a medical doctor, so my charge was to be the crew medical officer. And so I took care of the crew. So I had a chance to basically, if they got sick, I took care of them. And if when I was not treating the patients, then we would do research.
How can you get sick in space?
Just like you do here on Earth. So think about when we go into space, we are in this spacecraft. It's closed up, and usually it's about 7 or 8 of us in there. So if anybody gets a cold, guess what? Everybody gets a cold up there. And if we're doing work like building this International Space Station, we could get strain, just like you would back strain or muscle strain, and so things like that happen, just like you're on Earth. Wherever you have human beings, you're going to need someone taking care of them. They're going to get sick.